Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can see by how I look and the title of today's video, I am turning myself into the Grinch. So if you want to see how I got this look right here, then just please keep watching.
Okay guys, so let's get started. I'm going to start off by literally scraping green eyeshadow into a really light foundation because I don't have any green face paint. So I'm just taking this dark green from the KatvonD Fetish palette, and I'm kind of just mixing a bunch of green eyeshadows to get like as close of a skin tone to the Grinch as I possibly can. And I'm pretty happy with the color that I ended up getting, mixing the neon green and dark green together. And as you can see, it's applying, like, in my opinion, really nicely. I was actually really surprised with how well the base turned out. Also, this is the main picture that I am going off of for my inspiration today. Next, I'm just taking that same foundation without any green mixed into it to highlight my under eyes and any other parts of my face. And I'm still using the same brush to blend everything together. I tried to use a neon green to set my under eyes and that didn't work out, so I ended up just going in with the white from the Jamescharles palette, and that ended up working a lot better. Be sure when you do mess up just to do the same thing to both sides so that they look as similar as possible. Now for eyes, I'm doing actually something just super simple. I'm taking the same green that I used to mix into the foundation, and I'm kind of just putting that all over my lid, and then I'm just taking a really pretty shimmery color and putting that all over the first half of my lid. And then for lashes today, I'm going in with the Lillylashes in the style Miami. I also added a bunch more of the Jamescharles white powder underneath my eyes just to brighten a little bit more. And once my entire face was set with a little bit of that white powder along with a mixture of the neon green, I'm going in with that same dark green that I'm using for my eyes to contour all the portions of my face that I normally would. And then I didn't bring the foundation as far up into my hairline as I would like, so I just tried to bring a little bit of that dark green eyeshadow into my hairline to help conceal my skin tone a little bit. And then I also went in with this lime green eyeshadow to help clean up the contour, and it ended up just being like the wrong tone in my opinion for what I was looking for, so I ended up just going back in with the white eyeshadow from the Jamescharles palette, and I think it helped balance out the face a lot more. And then for eyebrows, I'm literally just going in with a black eyeshadow and filling them in like normal, and then just doing really big hair-like strokes to make them look as bushy as possible.
Okay, so I think I'm just gonna talk during this portion of it because it's actually quite enough in my house for me to explain, and plus this is probably the most like detailed portion of the tutorial, so let's just jump right into it. I kind of took a little time to practice on myself before I like jumped right in, since this is my first time doing anything like this, creating like this wrinkles and stuff like that on the face. So pretty much I already started sketching out the lines here, and I'm going in with the same dark green that I've been using pretty much like on my eyes, my contour, and all of that stuff. I'm just picking it up on this angled brush. This is the brush that I use for my brows. I'm just picking it up on this to help draw my lines first, and then after we get our lines down, then I'll start like shading and all that stuff. This part, without like these wrinkles and stuff like that, it's not gonna make the look, so I would take a little bit more time on this portion if you do decide to recreate this look. But keep in mind, they are wrinkles. They're not gonna be like perfectly like symmetrical, you know what I mean? So don't freak out too much on trying to get the lines like perfect. Just do your best. I'm gonna look in this mirror and slowly show you like each little move I'm making. So I'm going down in this portion, almost like the face is sagging in the middle. And then I'm bringing it back up, and like I do over here, it's gonna go back up and kind of wind down, and that's gonna be like where our wrinkle is. A way that I like to do it is if I look down in the mirror like this, it almost makes it a little bit easier for me to see the curvature of these lines. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know if that helps. And then I also drew a little line right here to kind of make it look like I'm going like that, you know what I mean? I did shade this side so you can see like the difference between the little line I made here. I'm going to emphasize that just a little bit more, and then further bring this line up in the center to look like my two brows are like squinting and touching each other, if that makes sense. So this is kind of like the layout I had, and the goal is to get it to this. So I'm going to show you guys how I shade the wrinkles to look like this now. So for shading, I'm going to start off with a really small brush like this one. This is the Real Techniques accent brush, and then I'm going to go straight back in with the dark green that we've been using, the same one that we used to sketch out the lines, and I'm going to start buffing the lines out just because, as you can see, they're a little bit harsh and I want them to look as smooth as possible. So I'm just going to take more of that color and run the brush over all of these edges and just try to soften them. Also, another thing is when you're like buffing out these lines, don't bring too much product on your brush towards the end here. Make it as smooth as possible. So what I would do is when you first dip in and there's like the majority of your product, I would start back here and start buffing and then move forward, because if you start right here you might end up getting way too much product and then it's like way too dark up in the front and it'll throw off the kind of balance of like the dark to light kind of shading effect. Okay, so still using the same brush, I'm going into a black eyeshadow. You can use any black eyeshadow. I'm using the one from the Jamescharles X Morphe palette, and this is where you need to be very cautious and go slow. That's why the brush is super tiny. I did try going in with a little bit thicker of a brush like this one, but it was way too much and it was bound to get way too dark way too quickly and mess up the wrinkle effect. So what I'm gonna do is find the highest portion of the wrinkle. So let's start with this one, and I'm going to start blending right up in there. And I'm not pulling it too down because I just want to emphasize the shadow underneath this wrinkle, as if there's a shadow here, and then later we will go in with highlights and highlight the upper portion to make it look like there's like actual wrinkles, if that makes sense. So next I'm switching over to this fluffy brush. This is the one I actually used on my eyes today, and I'm very lightly going into the dark green that I've been using like this whole time. And I'm very lightly going to buff over the edges here to just help soften that black. Okay, so at this portion, I'm going to go kind of back and forth between this brush with the black eyeshadow and this brush with the dark green, and just try to create as much dimension and depth as I can using this brush to help smooth out any black eyeshadow that I'm using. So now it's time for the part that's really going to make the wrinkles pop, which is the highlight portion of it. So this is the brush I'm using. You can honestly use any brush, it just needs to be small enough to get into these like little crevice areas thingies, I don't know what to call them. And I'm just going in with any white eyeshadow. This is the one from the Jamescharles palette, and I'm going to start highlighting the top portions of every wrinkle. Like that. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it really just kind of adds a lot more dimension to the wrinkles. And I'm going to start pulling the white eyeshadow through here as well, just to add a little bit of highlight to those smaller wrinkles as well. Okay, so once you've done the wrinkles, I'm also going to bring some of the white eyeshadow on the nose as well, just in this area. And don't forget this little thingy I still don't know what to call up here. I decided I'm going to bring one more line up here, like just literally for no reason. I just want to, because I feel like I have a lot of space in between this thing I still don't know what to call and my nose wrinkles. So I'm not even bringing it down too far. I'm literally just adding an extra line. I'm going to quickly buff it out and then just add the white highlight as well. Okay, so now we have to do the nose and mouth area. I'm gonna start by just sketching out the shape of the nose I want, filling it in, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And what I'm gonna do is not completely cover the entire nose. I wanna leave a little bit of the green poking through. so that when I put white eyeshadow on top of it, the white is just a little bit more pigmented since it's not having to shine through with the color of the black. So I'm honestly just going to kind of go over very lightly like this, and then just darken the areas I want so that I can still kind of have room for that highlight. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the tip of it, just like that, and that's really cute. It looks just like a little nose highlight. So next I'm going back to my angled like eyebrow brush, and I'm going to draw a straight line from the tip of my nose all the way straight down through the middle of my lip. That was not very straight, but we're gonna work with it. Next, we're gonna draw the little black dots that kind of represent where whiskers would come out of. You can use any black eyeliner, any black eyeshadow, it's up to you. I personally am gonna be using an eyeliner today with a really, really sharp tip, and I'm just gonna start drawing little black dots all over the place, just in this area. Okay, so now we need to paint the bottom lip pink. A lot of people I've seen have just taken the green off and just worn their natural lip. That'll probably last a lot longer if for some reason you're gonna be wearing this out. But I personally am just gonna go with a liquid lipstick today and go like the hot pink route. And this is the Deckofscarlet Matte Velvet lip color in the shade Trouble. It's like truly extremely pink. Another thing, because I just did it, try not to let it touch the top lip, but I'm talking, so I'm just progressively getting more. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Another way to speed up, oh my god, I just touched them together again. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is take a flat, oh my god, this is so hard. I'm gonna take a flat brush with nothing on it, and I'm just gonna tap over the liquid lipstick because it'll help dry the product faster. Okay, so the lip is on. I do want to highlight a few portions of my face a little bit more because that color I used on the lid is like this really light green, and I think it would be perfect to highlight a few portions of my face. So I'm going to highlight the tip of my nose a little bit, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of this green color to my brow bone as well, just because why not? Okay, so this is pretty much the final look. I have been referencing this photo right here, and I am noticing how I don't really like how empty my forehead is. So I think I'm going to use the same steps that I used for this areas of my face and just kind of play around with the wrinkles on my forehead. I'll come back to show you the final result and just the finished look in general, so I will be back in just a second. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I literally just added a few little wrinkles on the forehead and highlighted my inner corners and just tweaked a few little things, but this is the final look and I'm actually really happy about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you guys recreate this look or anything like it inspired by me, please tag me on Instagram. I'll put my username up above if you don't follow me already. I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this YouTube video, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next one. Bye you guys.